Hey everybody, Jonathan here with Pinnacle Outdoor Traditions. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a review today on a crossbow scope that I actually bought last year. And last year I did an unboxing video as well as recorded the range time and getting the thing sighted in. The unboxing video though, I just didn't like how it came out. It was too wordy, too much information being thrown at y'all. So we're going to do a quick introduction as to what the scope is, why I got it. I can tell you I used it last year all year long. Absolutely love it. It worked out flawlessly. I'm really happy with my purchase, and I'm going to tell you right now the scope we're going to talk about, I do recommend it. So let's get into it, and then I'm going to show y'all some range time stuff because yeah, it's really cool. What I bought was a Hawke Optics, there it is, Hawke Optics XB1. This is a variable powered scope, so it is a 1.5 to 5 by 32 scope. The reason that a crossbow scope has varied power is it allows you to fine-tune those adjustments. Once you get those crosshairs hitting at 20, 30, and 40 like it's supposed to be doing, you can fine-tune it to the actual speed that your bow is shooting. The bow that we put it on is a Bear Constrictor CDX. Love this bow to death. It's got a 10-inch axle to axle width when it's cocked, 14 when it's not. It is basically, it's 419, 420 feet per second, something like that, with a 190-pound draw weight. Now, you put heavier bolt, heavier broadhead on it, it's going to slow things down. It's not going to be as fast as what they advertise. But then it allows you to take that power, that speed, and transfer it into kinetic energy, which is what I like. Right now the scope is set roughly at about 375 feet per second, so that gives you an idea about how fast I'm shooting. Absolutely love this bow. It's very, very accurate. The only problem I had with it when I first bought it was the scope. The scope that they came with is the Bear X. It wasn't anything fancy, it wasn't anything nice. And the two main issues that I had with it were, one, the low light level transmission. It just wasn't very clear glass. And in the evening, right around sunset, when the deer were moving the most, I was losing light way too quickly. I'm talking a good 15-20 minutes at the end of my hunt was just cut off, and I hated it. So one, I wanted to get rid of that scope, and for that reason. Two is I didn't like the reticle either. I drew up a little illustration to show y'all. You can see the Bear up here and the Hawke down here. The problem with the Bear reticle is those circles right there in the center. Now, I'm an old school kind of guy. I learned how to hunt and how to shoot and how to aim by aim small, miss small. And when you got a circle that's basically the same size as the deer's vitals at that yard, you have to kind of guess where the middle is and where you're going to be trying to drill it dead center. And all that room that normally is going to be a, forgiveness kind of room is taken up by the actual circle itself. So you have a hard time making those small precision aiming points. The Hawke Optic with the crosshair on it in the dead center gives you a center point axis right there at that cross, so that you can pinpoint, put the dot right where you're wanting it to go. And then if you have an issue where you need a little forgiveness, you're up a little bit, over a little bit, down a little bit, it's not too bad. So that to me was a huge selling point. I went out and I was looking for a scope that could do that, had better light transmission. I liked the idea of having a variable power crossbow scope so that I could dial it in specifically to the bolt and to the setup that I was shooting. So I went ahead and went with the Hawke. At the time, I got it on Amazon at $161. I think I got it on sale. Currently it's selling for $189. It was a lot cheaper than the other scopes with the variable power were last year. The Vortex Crossfire was selling for, I think it was like $279. The 10 point was selling for $299, $399, something like that. Bear had another one out at the time that was about $200. So this was a considerably cheaper scope than a lot of the other comparable scopes that were out there. And I had heard the name Hawke Optics before, but I had never had any dealing with it. So I said, well, it's Amazon. I'll buy it. If I don't like it, I'll return it. Well, I bought it. I got it. Absolutely love it. I don't lose light transmission like I did with the other scope. I love the crosshairs. I love the reticle and the way it works. It is an illuminated reticle, so I highly recommend it. Even for low light, you actually have an adjustment to be able to adjust the brightness of that reticle, so that way in those lower light conditions, that light in the illumination doesn't wash out your field of view. 11 coated lens, so it's got 11 different coats to the lens itself. And just that ability to fine tune that scope by turning it to the speed is fantastic. I cannot stress enough the ability to be able to match the scope specifically to your shot and to your bow and your bolt setup. Night and day difference. It comes in the package with a few extras, just like some lens caps here and a little soft rag. Great value, good product, very good glass. If you're looking at it, you're thinking about it, you're wondering, should I or shouldn't I? Go ahead and take the chance. The Hawke Optics XB1 crossbow scope, great scope for the money, really good setup. And I'm going to show you here right now how good it is. I actually took a 75-yard shot that you'll see at the end of this video with this scope and just drilled it. It was awesome. Now I'm not going to take a 75-yard shot at a deer, but it was cool to be able to see if I could do it or not. So that being said, check out this rest of this video. Watch me as I'm shooting this thing. See what you think. Thanks for watching. All right guys, range day, finally. It's been about 2 weeks since I put the scope on this crossbow. Right now I've got my target at 10 yards from the table. Should be able to be on target, be able to get it dialed in at 10. Then we're going to move it out to 20. At 20 yards is where I'm going to set my 0. From there we're going to go to 30 and 40 yards and then try and turn that magnification key around so that way we're able to match the speed of the bow itself. So, you know, wish me luck, things go right, and hopefully everything will. I've got my arrows. They are marked 1, 2, and 3. These are the same ones I was shooting with last year, number 1 being the most accurate, 2 is second, and I mean, they're side by side, really dead on, and the number 3 is the least. You always want to sight things in with the stuff you're actually hunting with. A different bolt, a different head, any of that can change flight path and trajectory, especially when it comes to archery equipment. So we do not want to be shooting with something we are not planning on actually taking game with. So bolt number 1, safety off, ready to fire. All right, well, that shot way low, and just a touch to the right. First thing I'm gonna do is bring it up. Go get my bolt, do it again. All right, shot number 2. All right, well, I came up a bit. All right, go ahead and shoot it again. I think I'm going to adjust to the left a bit too. Go ahead and make that adjustment. All right, as you can see, about hit the exact same spot. Came up just a touch. We're gonna do it again. And again if we got to. There we go. Now we're getting closer. Since I'm near the bullseye at that stage, I'm gonna go ahead and move it back to 20 yards and start the process all over again. All right, we're at 20 yards now. Now at this stage, do not expect it to hit the bullseye. In fact, I'm expecting it to hit low. All right, so it did hit low. I adjusted my scope so the way it's up a touch. Still a touch off though, not bad. We're talking only 2 fingers below center. All right, you can see I pulled it up a bit too much. We want that thing hitting the bullseye. And there we go. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring you down here to see this one. We're gonna call that one pretty darn good. Okay, yesterday I stopped around noon to eat lunch. I ended up not being able to get back out, so here it is, the second day. I'm going to finish sight things out. We're going to go ahead, take a shot again at 20 yards, see where it hits. It should hit right on the bullseye, as long as I don't pull the shot. And then what we're going to do is start the increments of moving it out to 30, 40, and 50, and fine-tuning those adjustments for the speed itself. So, the adjustment I made yesterday to the right looks like it worked pretty good. I'm going to come up just a hair. We're going to take that shot one more time, see how it works. Dead on the money, baby. Woo! I love that. It is so important, and I do mean important, that when you're shooting anything at wild game, to be as accurate as you possibly can. Do everything you can to take the U factor when you're sighting something in to be as dead on accurate as you possibly can. Get the most out of your equipment so that it doesn't fail you. All right, guys, if you look at that, I don't believe we're going to get any better. I love shooting my crossbows. I mean, I love it. It's awesome. Got it out to 30 yards. I went ahead and turned it too, so that I've got a little bit different target to shoot at. What we're doing now, inside the scope etched into the reticle, there's crosshairs for 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way down to 100. We have a scope that has a variable magnification with a first focal plane, which means that the size of the reticle itself increases with the magnification, or does not increase with the magnification. So if you turn it up, it changes that point of impact of what the speed is versus where that magnification is. And we're trying to find that happy point where the little crosshairs match up with the magnification and the speed of the bow. If everything goes right, you know, a little bit of adjustment here and there, shouldn't have to touch the turrets again, and we'll start hitting bullseyes using our 30, 40, and 50 yard mark. So we're going to give this a shot. This is my first time ever using a scope like this on a crossbow. And that was right where I was aiming for. Holy cow, that's awesome. I love it when things work right. It's awesome. Target is now out to 40 yards. This time I rotated it to the side that shows deer vitals. The idea is I'm going to hit that heart target about as dead center as I can at 40 yards. We're going to see how this works. Just a touch low. As you can see, and that is like right below the heart. So what I did is I adjusted the magnification, turned it down just a little bit. If it's shooting low, that means it's probably shooting slower than where I had the magnification set at. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit to a little bit slower speed, and we're going to try this shot again, see what that does. Shot number 2 at 40 yards. Still a touch low. All right, I didn't take you down with that one because it was practically in the exact same spot. There we go. That's better. I'm gonna show you what I got. That's a hard shot. 50 yards, right here. Not 100% sure, but I think I hit the heart. Let's find out. So much fun to shoot a bow at that distance too. I'll tell you, you can hear that thing just right through the air. There you go. That's on it all right. I moved it 2 clicks to the right. That should bring it over a ½ inch to the right. All right, shot number 2 at 50 yards. That looks like I hit pretty good. All right, windage I should say is right on the money. That's dead center. Elevation is a bit low again. I'll turn that speed down just a touch more. Shoot it one more time. See how it does. I may try and take a longer shot. I may not. We'll see what kind of time frame it is. All right. That looks pretty good. Well, if I were to complain about that, that'd make me a jerk. So just over my shoulder on the hillside up there, the target is set up at 75 yards. I changed the target side to where I've got 4 little octagon shaped targets and bees floating around. We're going to aim for dead center of it. I'm going to let you know right now, I have never shot a crossbow or compound bow at this distance. This is distance that is normally, normally used in rifle shots around here. Most of my rifle shots are 75 to 100, maybe 110 yards. So this is a pretty long distance for me with a crossbow. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous that I'm gonna end up losing my best bolt, but we're gonna take this shot anyway. I've got the GoPro set up down there. I'm gonna have this camera set up on this angle. So hopefully we'll get 2 angles for the shot. But we're gonna take this shot and then we're gonna close the video out. That sounded beautiful. So cool. Let's hopefully we hit the target in the right spot. Oh, I like that. I like what I see there. That's not too bad at all. So at 75 yards, basically kind of guessing at my holdover by the way the reticle looks. It was probably about 2 inches, I'd say. Yeah, about 2 inches low, and yeah, about 1 inch to the left. The Hawke Optic that I picked up for I think it was $160. Highly recommended. That thing worked out perfectly. I just can't say enough how well that actually worked out. I had the ability to adjust for my speed. I had the crosshair reticle style that I wanted. I have reticles that go all the way down, as you can see, out to 75 yards. And that was me guessing at a holdover. I highly recommend it. The glass is very clear. The illuminations are very good. It illuminates the reticle, the actual crosshair that's in the center. Some people may find it too busy. That's your personal preference, but for me, it's awesome. I absolutely love it, and for the price, man, I mean, I'm talking 10 Point sold a similar optic for $300. Vortex sells a similar optic for $200, and I'm talking $160 for that thing shipped to my door, 2-day mail through Amazon. I'm not going to complain. That's the optic I'm using this year. I'm going to kill some deer with it this year. I have confidence in it. I hope that helps. Hope it gives you some information. Hope you learned something, or at the very least, if you want to know about that Hawke variable speed crossbow optic, and I don't know if my opinion's worth it or not, but I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. I absolutely love it. Until next time, until the next product review, this is Jonathan with Pinnacle Outdoor Traditions, telling you, go out, get in the woods, get on the water, make some traditions of your own. And don't forget, hit like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. Tell me if you think that this was a good purchase. Tell me whether or not you were thinking about it, whether this made up your mind or not. I'm hoping to help. So give me some comments, like and subscribe. Go ahead and put the word out there on YouTube for me, and get out, make some traditions of your own. Until next time. Okay, we're up a tree. Gotta say, it is comfortable, and I do feel very secure. Be able to swing around. I can put my foot on those steps if I need to.